All right, so the oh, now I gotta. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. The first thing we're gonna talk about today, the NAR versus, well, it's NAR and Zillow, strange bedfellows, right?
Ugh, so
Versus
weird.
REX lawsuit. So this article comes to us from Housing Wire. The lawsuit that alleges a powerful National Association of Realtors and home listings giant Zillow illegally conspire to snuff out the competition has survived NAR and Zillow's motion to dismiss the case. The federal judge is Thomas Zilli, which I think is an interesting side note because I have a lot of people that tell me that they saw this house on Zilli. Is there collusion there? It's something happening. Thomas Zilli, maybe he's just mad. Maybe he's mad that Zillow exists and he's Zilli. It's kind of Zilli.
I think there's something to that. I thought the exact same thing, Ray.
So anyway, he found the complaint by real estate brokerage REX plausibly complains that, quote, brokerages, agents, and even customers have no choice but to comply with NAR's so-called optional rules. The Seattle-based judge ruling is the latest in an instance of legal hot water for NAR. A guild for... When you hear the word guild, what do you think of, Dan?
I go right to just some sort of, Lord of the Rings, like quest? A bunch of elves. Yeah, a guild of assassins,
That's exactly what I thought too. A guild for real estate agents that also represents brokerages and advocates for consumers. The Biden administration Justice Department announced in July that they've withdrawn from the consent decree, which we talked about, in order for them to investigate NAR more.
Which we here on the show say, bring it on. Let's go.
Yeah. We kind of at that time, especially for that lawsuit in particular, we really wanted that to go through so that it would set a precedent and we wouldn't see any lawsuits in the future. So this lawsuit is a little bit different though. So the Rex lawsuit stems from Zillow changing how it collects home listing information about and publicly displays. So for those of you who don't know, you'd go to Zillow and you see all the listings in one place. You'd see everything from the MLS, everything from for sale by owners, everything from companies like REX. You'd see all of those in one big spot. Okay. Right. Then what happened was Zillow became a broker. Well, we real estate agents have to abide by certain rules that we can't really display listings that are not in the MLS in the same way on our websites that we would display listings from the MLS.
Right.
So Zillow, because now they're a broker, they have to comply with that MLS rule. And because of that, they created two tabs. One tab are here's listings from realtors, and the other tab is other. Now I don't know what those tabs say actually, but that's basically the split. No, it says agent listings and then other listings. So that is what it says. Rex's complaint is it implies that if someone clicks on the other tab, those are listings that are not represented by a licensed real estate agent. And to their claim, that's not true. They are licensed real estate agents. They're just not realtors who abide by the same code of ethics or are a part of the National Association of Realtors. So that's the rub. And that's the quote anti-competitive behavior that now they want to push through to the next court. There could be a settlement. If there's no settlement, then it would go to a higher court.
So
anything else that you saw on that, Dan?
Well, just so what I see, I'm on Zillow right now and I scroll over to the buy and it brings down a little drop down window that says homes for sale. And then there's homes for sale, new construction, foreclosures coming soon. And then there is an all homes tab. So is the all homes the other one? Because I don't
no, that would be an all-encompassing tab, right?
But I mean, I have homes for sale, but there's no like, hey, this is the Rex listing or non-MLS listings. I don't see any of that. There should be something
that says other listings, says Jeremy James.
It just says homes for sale. And then if I go to all homes.
Yeah. Jeremy James says, I can't have pocket listings on my site without NAR hitting me. That's true. Karina says, no, you open that.
You can't do that.
So you open the all homes and then there's a tab. And then opens an option of two tabs. Yeah.
So anyway, but well, no, then I can click a city. Let me click California or a state. And then I can go to city. I mean, I just search it. I don't know. But anyway.
On this episode of Watching a Boomer Use a Computer.
Yeah, I am almost a boomer. I'm almost 48 years old. Oh, maybe he means on the app. I'm on. You can watch a 48-year-old man scroll the internet.
It was like during our show prep show yesterday, we were both reading in Clubhouse, but we were
on
both
an audio only show.
Yeah, we were reading silently about some of the articles that people were back channeling us and stuff like that. D Jones, she says, not a boomer. So yeah, that's pretty.
We are just killing it with content lately.
Yeah.
I mean,
sick content, y'all. Sick content.
Sick. I did want to add to that. So, did you hit the Biden administration intervened in the lawsuits against NAR, including Rex's complaint?
No, go ahead.
According to Zillow's ruling, the United States Justice Department filed a statement of interest asking this court to decline to draw any inference that in NAR's favor from the 2008 consent decree, which is now expired. Okay, so this I didn't know. Maybe we'd covered on the show. I don't remember it though. But that consent decree dealt with whether NAR sanctioned multiple listing services could withhold data from consumer-facing websites like Zillow, a resolution that arguably enabled Zillow and additional websites like Redfin to blossom. So that's where they got. But then Zillow became a brokerage, and guess what? They had to then go through MLS rules. And to get these feeds, Zillow had to comply with the vast majority of MLSs that adopt the NAR's no commingling rule. Under the rule, Zillow was requested to separate. So they were told to do all this stuff. And then part of what Rex wanted from the filing of the complaint was the judge would issue a preliminary injunction against Zillow's other listings tab. But in June written order, Zillow roundly rejected Rex's call to enjoin Zillow's behavior. Okay, but here's where it turns, because that same judge he's the same one that ruled on this. So Zillow approvingly quotes from Rex's complaint that NAR, quote, is the rare trade association that sets the rule of competition among its members. And these combined actions constitute illegal restraints on trade. So what has changed is my question.
Well, I think my bigger question in it all, because, I could see this. It's hard for me to imagine a situation in which the court forces a company to use its tool for its competition.
Right. And so, when their competition's mad that they're not getting any views on their competition's website.
Yeah, that's really strange to me.
Right.
So maybe NAR has to drop the rule and it's no longer a rule, because that rule you could argue that rule doesn't allow fair competition, but at the same time, Rex could then be charged an absurd amount by Zillow and say, well, you're free to display your listing as our website at a price.
Right.
And how would that be wrong? How would that be wrong?
Well, then how would it affect us on the smaller brokerages though? Like,
could I then display any listings that are for sale anywhere on my website and then lead generate from them?
Yeah. And then would you want to? And if you wanted to, can you brand it like it's, hey, this is, I'm the listing agent, but just like Zillow does, then could you? So I think this would open up a big old can.
Yeah. It's really interesting to me. It's almost like, we've talked about this bagel shop idea in the past. I make bagels, Dan makes bagels. Dan's got a bagel shop and displays all his bagels in the best area in the best neighborhood. And Dan won't allow me to put my bagels in his display case.
You can't put, even though they're the exact same bagels,
mine, you could argue that mine are better, Dan. The representation and quality of my bagels are by far superior to your bagels.
So you want my customers to taste your bagels and let them decide.
Let them all eat my bagels, Dan. And in order to do that, Dan, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to take you to court, Dan, and we're going to force you to put my bagels in your bagel display.
Well, okay, and that's fine. You can put them in there, but I'm going to charge you a fee for every one I sell.
Okay, but the fee's got to foster competition. It can't be negative.
In my shop.
Yeah. Isn't this the same thing? Like,
it's extremely absurd, and we're making it even more absurd by making it a bagel. Now, the reason I'll answer the bagel question.
Okay.
Because when everything got shut down because of the Rona, I always questioned, like, we have the social distancing and we, no more than this many people in groups and all that stuff. My local bagel shop never had more than 3 or 4 people in it, including the workers at a time. Why did they get shut down? So I've just kind of been equating everything to bagels for the last year and a half. So I did on the Zillow thing. I'm like, if Ray and I both sell bagels, but he marketed better than I do, why would I be mad about it?
Because Dan, everyone else is going to eat my bagels, not yours.
But mine are better than yours. So
we just don't see how that's different. Like, how is that
Right.
a different situation in which Rex is asking NAR to do?
It's
now,
not at all.
Now, if NAR or I'm sorry, if Dan the Bagel Man said, actually, that's not a bad name, Dan. If you start a bagel shop, Dan the Bagel Man.
I need to start making bagels.
If Dan the Bagel Man said, no, I'm not going to carry Ray's bagels all day. This
alliteration is getting out of control.
Yeah, okay, whatever. So if Dan said I can't because there's a bigger bagel bureaucracy above me, and due to the bigger bagel bureaucracy, they don't allow me to carry Ray's bagels all day in Dan the Man's bagel shop.
Right, because I became an owner of a bagel shop. Right. So now they could say it doesn't allow me to carry your bagels.
Right. So you could have a case, Dan the Bagel Man versus the bigger bagel bureaucracy. You could have a case against them yourself, and me and you could come together and say, hey, you got to let Ray bagels all day be in the Dan the Bagel Man shop. You can't stop that.
Right.
D Jones chiming in with the real answer. She said, I'd like a chocolate chip bagel with egg white and cheese. How much?
Well, for my bagels, that'll cost you $4.45. For Ray's, that'll cost you $6.35.
So Mike Elizabeth Rodell, extending the analogy even further, said, but are they really better than Dan's bagels? Dan has spent bazillions making sure his bagel is better. Ray's maybe sold one bagel in his entire life. So that is the rub.
Yeah. Now just equate those two things to Zillow and Rex, and you'll understand. There you go.